The 5 reasons why people don't buy from you and what you can do about it. I'm very excited to share this episode with you because I am wondering if you wonder why people don't buy from you. And for the past few months, I realized that there's absolutely no quick wins in sales. Believe me, I tried. And so, if you are ready to invest time and effort in this, it will pay off. And so, if you want to continue listening to this episode, do so you will get the clients you deserve.
This is Big Business with Sarah, the podcast for entrepreneurs who want to continue building their business and understand you should never stop learning.
So the thing is that it's sometimes very hard to understand why somebody isn't buying from you, and you might recognize this. So if you're thinking, I have a great offer, I have heaps of experience, and I honestly know that my possible client will be much better off if they worked with me. I am bringing up 5 reasons why I believe someone isn't buying from you. And I'm also offering you solutions in this podcast episode, of course. So some reasons might be a little bit harsh to hear, but bear with me because I think it will help you get the clients you deserve. Reason number 1 is, and this is actually you're thinking, all right, are you a business coach? Do you really know what you're talking about? But this happens a lot, actually. It is unclear what you are offering. So that's the first reason. Always talk about the outcome first to your clients. So things like pricing, dates, location, time investments, the fun part, what do they gain? You can talk about that, but talk about that outcome first. I'm going to mention this too in reason number 2. And also, if it's unclear what you're offering, really wonder yourself, for who is this exactly? So one of my clients, for instance, she's writing a book currently, and I asked her to write down a list of names, actual names of people that she knows, of 20 people that she wants to have to sell the book to, that she believes that should, people that should read her book. Sorry, a little bit stumbling here. So 20 people that she thinks that should read her book because simply it will really help them. So figuring out who is your ideal client is also very important in understanding what is it that you're offering. And so weave this message and around, everything that you do, social media posts, email newsletters, sales page, in real life conversations, and always go back to, you know what, I'm actually helping a client, like I just said, with the person that I'm helping, write down those 20 names. Weave this around in all your messaging because most people have no idea what you're offering. So this is what I see happen all the time. So people say, yeah, I mentioned it once and nobody is buying. No shit. There's a general rule in marketing, and this is actually, I think it's since the 80s, that people need 7 touch points to buy from you. And those could be different kinds of touch points. So in most commercials, you don't see, for instance, I remember, there's one commercial that I'm thinking about all the time. And it's, there's this, women working in the office. And then they're saying to each other, Coca-Cola light break, Coca-Cola light break, Coca-Cola light break. And then, this song, want a man, want a man, want a man, want a mighty good man. Sorry that I'm singing this badly, but I had to sing it like this because else maybe you wouldn't recognize it. And then I think he's a windscreen washer, a very muscular man. And then, of course, he has his Coca-Cola lights, and these women are drooling over him, from their office. So they're not really talking about, the cocoa leaves that made Coca-Cola so great, or the packaging, or no, they're actually, that commercial, it was probably in the beginning of the 90s. I was very young, but I remember it so vividly because it's actually a crazy commercial. I don't think this will happen again, in the 20s. But so my point is that talk about the experience, talk about the outcome. I mean, what is the outcome for these women in the commercial of Coca-Cola Light is that they drink the same, juice as that gorgeous man. I don't know. I mean, they're connected with him in some way, and they obviously want that. My point is talk about the outcome first. And that's also going to be the second reason, or so it's unclear what you're offering was my first reason. So the second reason is you're not specific on the outcome. So I want you to talk about the situation that your client is currently at point A. So that's their current situation, and you're going to help them go to point B. What is actually going to help them? And I'm going to mention this much more often in this episode, is that your clients or your prospects don't owe you anything. It's up to you to show them what the outcome can be. You don't have to say, for instance, if you are a fitness coach, it's very difficult to say, you know what, if you're going to the gym with me, you will lose 20 kilos in 3 months. That's a promise that you can't keep. I, as a business coach, am also not saying to you that you should have 10K months or 100K months or, 1,000K, a million months. Because I can't make that promise, because, it's also very much up to your client how much work they put into it. And, that's a thing that I don't like, for instance, in the fitness industry or the business coaching industry, is that people are promising that because they can't. But my point is, be very clear what could be their outcome when they worked with you or when they bought your products. So without explaining, then the second step you can take in this, without explaining exactly how, be specific on the steps that your client is going to take once they work with you. So be a little bit clear in, all right, so this is what you can do. This is what, the steps that we're going to take. I'm not going to explain you how. That's what we're going to talk about once you work with me. But so they know a little bit what to expect. So for instance, if you are in the service industry, be very be very clear on the process, not so much on the how, but more on the what. And one thing that is so interesting, and I'm still researching this, and if you listen to the podcast episodes, before this, you know this already, but buyers in 2022 like to do their own research. If you're listening to this in 2023 or 4, it will probably be even worse, or I think it's actually better. It will probably even be more. So have as much information as you can to take them for a ride. So, that time when you had just short sales pages or short, I don't know, product pages, I don't think that works anymore. People really like to actually really do their own research. Before I'm buying something, in a brick and mortar shop, I always kind of like to know a little bit of background. So also be open to that. Also be open to answering all those questions. And, maybe someone, if you are working in a brick and mortar shop, make it more interesting for people to buy from you instead of online, or maybe you have an online shop. I don't know exactly what your business is, but be open that buyers are going to do their own research. So chasing your clients too much that's going to be quite difficult. Also, something that I'm thinking about a lot lately is demand generation instead of lead generation. So demand generation is really about creating that demand and not so much by getting in leads, right? So a typical way of how to get in leads, and I'm currently offering a lot of that as well in my sales pages, is that you have to leave your email address before you can enter, for instance, my free sales training or my free downloads, on whatever, something that is on. So that's locked content, and something that is unlocked content is this podcast. So that's a part of demand generation. But there's this new upcoming thought in the marketing world that if people really like you, they will come back to you. So you don't really need their email addresses is the idea. And it's a very old marketing thought right now that you need all those email addresses to sell to people, because it might be that they just want to get your guide on how to create the best Excel file. I don't know what kind of guide you're having. But that they might want to work with somebody else in the end because they don't really like the way you're sending your emails, right? So it's a thought. I'm still, I just want to share my thought process with you, and also share that I'm not perfect and I don't have all the answers yet. Sorry to break it to you, but it's true. So anyway, knowing that your buyers in 2022 do want to do their own research, really do need to take their time. And you know what? If they really like you, they will actually come back to you. And if they think you are the expert. So that's also going to reason number 3 is people don't trust you. And this is maybe a little bit harsh to realize, but it might actually be true. Maybe people think that you're a great person and they think that you should get everything that you can, but they just don't want to buy from you. And one of the ways that you can build trust is by showing up every day, by showing your expertise online. So become a niche authority. I'm talking about this in my coaching program, but in short, become a niche authority is, it's very, very clear and very easy to remember, is that you're becoming an authority within your niche. So by sharing your expertise online. And I once read somewhere, I think it was on LinkedIn, on Twitter, that someone said that she didn't share with her publisher because she published a book, and she said, I think 14 months after the book release, which was a bestseller, she told her publisher, you know what, I actually already shared all of my pages, all of my modules, all of my chapters from my book with my LinkedIn or Twitter crowds, because I wanted to see how people would react. And in that way, actually, she became a niche authority because people would recognize it. It's a great way to launch. She was really, stretching that hype phase a lot. And it's so funny because, the publisher had no idea. And also, people bought the book. It was a best-selling book. But don't be afraid to share everything that you know online. I'm actually also doing it in one way or another. I'm keeping some gifts just exclusively for my clients. But, and also, my method, the thing is, another thing that I've listened to on another podcast was that people don't pay so much for your expertise, but they pay to save a lot of time. Because you probably, with most creators, also podcast creators, you could actually really work, create the business of your dreams. For instance, with my business coaching advice in my podcast, it could actually be that you're not going to be a paying client. But if you want to spend time on this, sure, I'll be happy to help, because I'm sharing all the content for free. And, as I'm sharing all this content for free, it actually might help you just to do it all on your own. But there are people who decide, you know what, I don't want to spend all this time listening to Sarah's podcasts, or to listening all her blog articles, or to listen to read all her content on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. I don't have time for that. I just want to buy time. And that's the reason why most people probably buy from me. So realizing that you can share all your expertise online, and realizing that people will probably buy your time instead of buy your expertise because they can get it online. It might help you, break down those walls, from your content, and just share everything happily. So another tip I wanted to share with you is getting involved in conversations online. So, for instance, write a column in a publication your audience reads. Comment a lot on LinkedIn posts, within your niche. I have been working on my LinkedIn authority actually a lot for since the beginning of August. I was planning to do it beginning of September, but then I already just started, and I'm going to share with this in the next couple of episodes. I'm not sure which one yet, but because I want it to be very good for you, of course. But so I noticed that, you know, through LinkedIn comments, I'm actually getting a lot of DMs for people who are asking me if I can help them. So, you know, getting involved in the conversation, and I think Twitter and LinkedIn are perfect for that. I think Instagram has a little bit lost its touch in that perspective. Yeah. And another tip I want to give you is you might want to consider get public speaking gigs. And it might be that you're afraid to, you know, show up on stage, sharing your thoughts and ideas, and you can just start small. Maybe do it for free once in a while. I've been public speaking since the dawn of my time. I love being on stage, so for me it's quite easy. But I understand also if you haven't done that, and if you don't really like that it could be quite difficult. And I also believe that you should, you know, you don't have to do public speaking if you really don't like it. You can also write. I mean, blogs are still very. I mean, there is still a lot possible. You know, you just have to be really good and finding that niche authority and having your own voice and your personal brand. And then actually that blog might actually pay off. And from that blog, you can write posts because, you know, you have long form content, and then you can create short form content from that. So, and then it's very easy to create content each and every day. I'm giving away so much here. I love it. Another tip to build your authority and to have people trust you is to ask for reviews from your current clients and share them on your website or sales page or LinkedIn profile. So this is something, I mean, I should do this too more often because I have so many happy clients, and I should do this way more. But just ask your current clients, even if you're not finished yet, what do you think of working with me? And then record it, or, you know, ask them to record a video, or maybe have a 3 small questions that they can answer, and that you can make you can make a review from that, and then check to see if they like it. Make it as easy as possible for your client to do this. And just publish it, because I mean that's one of, you know, that's really social proof is really a great way to build your authority. And if you need to dive deeper into this, by the way, I have created a episode. I think it's episode 6 in the Big Business with Sarah show. And listen to this. It's talking about becoming a captain of industry, so you can dive into that a little bit more. Reason number 4 could be that your pricing isn't fitting your offer. So reason why people are not buying from you. Stop making up pricing from your gut feeling. Calculate how much do you want to sell? How much do you want to invest to sell? What does your product suite look like? What is going to be the customer lifetime value? Is this your core offer or your lead generator? Think of ways on what your pricing looks like. Just making up prices is a big no-no. Your audience will feel that too. Have a strategy in mind, and this is also how to build trust. And if you want to learn more about setting your prices and having the right sales strategy, you can follow my sales training for free. I will link it in the show notes. You can follow it for free. And so you can make your own sales plan. And if you're thinking, yeah, but I don't have time. Okay, what do you want? More time or more clients? You know, the thing is, if you have more clients, you have more time. So just do it. And the 5th reason is why you are not getting more clients is you are not creating enough urgency. So if people are saying, if they don't have money or time, like I just said in the previous reason why you wouldn't follow my free sales training workshop, is that you need to work on your messaging. And, you know, the thing what I just said, like, just do it, is not a great messaging. I should give a great example for that, but I have some ideas. So give away something for free so they can taste what it's like to work with you or to buy from you. So for instance, have some samples ready, you know, if you have a beauty business, help them clean, maybe have a skin analysis. If you have a clothing shop, give them maybe some styling advice. There's all these kinds of ways that you can actually give something for free before they're buying. And also show the outcome they will get. So, I've talked about this in reason number 1 and 2, but really show the outcome, what could be, and also, try to portray this like, this could be you. Third tip I want to give you is dive deeper into what your ideal client needs and actually create an offer they can't refuse. So it can happen that somebody has a very specific question. And if you're saying, no, I just really want to work like this and that's it, and you're not having enough clients, then I would suggest that maybe you would change something in your product tree and or product suite. I'm calling it product suite tree. But so create something new for them. And I also want you to remember that your future prospects, and I just said it before, doesn't owe you anything. It is up to you to make your offer very attractive. And this is, again, about radical responsibility. Don't blame the others. Step into action mode and just do it. So I'm going to summarize my 5 reasons. The first one was, it's unclear what you're offering. Do you think this was bad? I don't think it was really bad. I thought it was a little bit harsh maybe, but, stepping out of this, this idea of people are not buying, but actually taking action is actually going to help you. So summarizing it. It is unclear what you're offering. Second one is you are not specific on the outcome. The third one is people don't trust you. The fourth one is your price just isn't right. And fifth is the urgency to buy is unclear. You deserve to get the right clients and let them pay you. Work on these 5 steps and you will attract more. So, if you liked this training, you are going to love my Black Friday workshop. I'm hosting it on Tuesday, October 25th at 2 p.m. set. So I'm based in Amsterdam, so Central European time. This is a bonus training for my mastermind clients, actually. The third round is open right now. Second round is open right now. But I wanted to open it up for you too for only 34 euros. And you can follow the link in the description to join. Black Friday is really a perfect way to experiment with new business models, new offers. So if that sounds good, you're very welcome to join. And thank you so much for listening, and see you next week.